the girls' cappuccino. Yes, my name is Chibalonza.
Nora.
Daisy.
Peace, Elsie.
Peace out. Peace in.
There is peace.
There is peace. And there shall be peace. As it blossoms the daisies in our hearts. Nora, sasa niseme nini yako Nora?
I don't know.
Nora. I'll think about it by the time tunamaliza.
Yeah.
Right now. Okay, so ladies, are you women of God?
Girls
of God.
Children of God.
Wongo.
God girls.
Hakuna kwanza hata mkitu amesema kakari, please bless the woman of God as she proceeds.
But woman.
Hey, inakuanga woman of God. Sio lakini ukiitwa woman, that's where you draw the line.
Yes.
Kama icon of God
sawa.
But
Ata lakini is sema woman of substance.
Woman of substance.
Of substance.
Bana, woman is woman. Nikikupata kwa barabara woman, you know what I mean.
You woman.
You woman.
Insult.
You woman. You
woman.
You lady.
Nika unanitusi.
You girl.
Definitely woman, but no girl I give.
Girl. Welcome to the girl cappuccino.
No.
Welcome to the girls cappuccino. So before we went for the break, somebody was holding something. Na lazima tumwachilie nini. You cannot use it. Yeah, let it nini. Let it get out of you. #talk.
Haiko yende this far.
Ishafika. Yeah.
Anywho, I was that best friend.
You are the best friend. Na alikuwa amesema, you guys, I told you, let me tell you.
Wait. What?
No, pause. So this man says, I will not marry until I get a best friend. All this while when your best friend.
No, wait.
Okay, what of the man?
Wait, no. Wait.
Giving Paul.
Jesus.
We are waiting.
Paul, continue.
We are waiting. We are waiting. Safe space, no judgment.
Anyway, we were friends since kitambo.
From today I don't have friends.
Oh.
Anyway, let's get this over. We were friends. We became friends. We added some friends to our circle. And every time we'd ask him, Fulani, when are you getting married?
Fulani.
No, I'm not saying the name.
Papi Chulo. Randy Otto.
Randy. Yeah. Randy, why you not getting married? Is like, me, I believe for me to get married, Nafan, you were my best friend. At that time, I didn't know, like, I'm that best friend he's talking about. I swear. Am I supposed to swear?
No. You should swear.
No, I didn't know. At that time. I'm saying at that time because later I came to know. Yeah. So and then for me,
sorry. Pass the tissues. Deliver them. Comment your.
Pin your location.
Space, no wrong.
Next time.
Utakuwa rada.
Nitajifunza kunyamaza.
No, it's a space.
It's a safe space.
Can we end it?
It's a safe space. You know? We're not judging. We are happy for you.
It's a whole.
You too.
Anywho, so my beliefs are make your partner your best friend. Don't wait or don't assume. Like usiseme lazima ni best yangu ndo nitamuoa. Like love someone, make that person your best friend. Anyway, a bit later on, I see a text and you're that best friend I'm waiting for. We've been friends for a long time and I know you see me as a friend. I see you differently. And I think that really took a very big turn. Nipeni amani.
That's a good one. Take her.
Can I finish this thing?
Yes, finish.
Please. We go to the next point. And at that time, I was in my early 20s. Very early 20s. He was in his late 20s. And the whole group, I think, most of us were in our mid 20s. So, you know, I think like 3 years. So,
Amuita mzee bana, yeye alikuwa gentleman. Yeye alikuwa papichu.
he was a bit older.
Amuita mzee aje? Na wewe utaki kuitwa woman.
Everything is evaporating.
It was like in his late 20s.
Alikuwa mzee. Kwa hivyo sasa wewe ni mzee na uko in your late 20s. Papichulo. All right.
Oh my God.
Continue, we are sorry.
Next time. And I think the friendship changed from then.
Yeah.
And they mentioned it can take turn. Now we're not friends. Now he's pursuing me. But me, it really felt like I was losing my friend because sasa how kiaje sasa.
Ulitaka ibaki friendship.
Exactly. We were good that way for me. And I think later I got fed up. I can block everywhere. Yeah. And I think how long down the line. Now, by that time, I'm blocking Nini and the age that he was. By the time now we are starting to talk again, I think he's in his mid-30s.
Yeah, of course.
So he's like, you know what? I'm good. I've healed. I used to see you this way. I know things changed. I'm not a big nor. I'm like, Uliowa. And he's like, Bado. Yeah. So.
Why? Is it because of you?
I don't know. He didn't say. Yeah. Anyway, to just cut the story short, he got married, and I think we tried to like bring back the circle, and then he was like, "You guys are just married for the sake."
Wait.
Yes.
Now who? Now him.
Him. Yeah. When we start to talk again, and he's like, he's not married, of course I'll run away kidogo because I've never seen him that way.
Yeah.
I still didn't see him that way. And we used to say hi, but then later tukanyamaziana tena. So I think one lady tried to bring the group back.
Okay.
Yeah, so tukajipata kwa this WhatsApp group, and she was like, no, you guys won't know how everyone is doing. It's been this couple of years. I need to know everyone is alive. It started as a joke.
Okay.
And you were like, so what are you doing? Who is married? Who blah, blah, blah. And just like, you guys, I'm now 40. I'm married. But I'm married for the sake that I just needed a wife. You get. I don't know whether he regrets. You get. So this thing of someone just, you feel like?
I feel so sad for the wife.
Exactly. So Nile, you don't know how to help this person. Like for him, it's like, I just wanted kids. And my parents were nagging because everyone is married. Walishaza, wamelea, he's just there. Yeah. So he married for the parents, for kids, not for love.
I think
so. For him, he married the lady that loved him and that was there. Yeah. I hope the point is home.
Yeah, best friend. So
really,
I had to. I had to. Nenda ya mwisho lakini.
Thank you.
It takes me back to your point nimesema. Ama hiyo point yenye tumetari on ya the friendship. I think we have to get to a place in life, especially when you come of age, when you now start becoming very intentional and very sensitive to the kind of friendships that you have. Iki to come up, for example, the way people say you can be a lady and have a male best friend and be okay and still look for someone else. That's doing with someone else's
feelings.
Life hata wacha feelings because I'm thinking like you're literally investing on something that will not be there. I don't think for when you become of age, and when I mean of age, when you're ready for marriage, your relationships stop becoming relationships just for the sake of everything has to be intentional and on point. And as we were saying before the break, we were saying there's a point you brought up when you said the pressure is heavy on the male, on the male species, on the boys, on the men, on the papichulos, than it is on us. Yeah, we are saying that just for context purposes. One of our directors has told us to sweat a gentleman to eat a papichulo.
Papichulo.
Yeah. So the pressure is most on the papichulos than it is for us. You can't say that and be serious. Sorry, we'll just call it
man.
So and this is good and this is bad at the same time. For ladies, do you know, in as much as tunapenda kujifanya ladies, do you know a lady can never really be ready for marriage until he meets a man who's ready for marriage?
True. But is anyone ever ready for marriage?
For men are tactical. Men are planners. Men are designers.
Okay.
Ladies, we want to be, but we are not as men are. This is what I mean. Uko hapo umesema mimi, my career, I'll have to finish school, then go get a master's, and then get a job, and then start thinking of family. That is what a woman would say. That's what a man would say. The next 2 years, I'm getting married. Then,
and by the way, they'll be serious. He'll wife you.
You will get married. Because naturally, ni mwanaume ndio mpangi. You will hear very many women tell you, nilikuwa nataka kukua hivi, nilikuwa nataka kufanya nini. Then I met this man, I don't know how I got married. I just got married. Because if a woman meets a man who's ready, that woman is very ready. And that's what I'm saying. When you're telling us your story, and you're like, the man married just because the woman was available. Believe you me, for the woman, it's not even a downside. Women, now let me say this. Women, it's an honor to be married. It is an honor, and the honor is given by the men. In as much as you do not want to admit it, you can never be a queen if there is no king. Nobody is a queen just because by osmosis or atulikaribia imoto na ukapata queenship. You need a king. You need a king to make you a queen. Case in point, let's get biblical. There's this king in the Bible whose name is still under debates on how we should pronounce it. King X. He had this queen by the name of Vashti, right? Vashti was Queen Vashti because of King X, right? Esther was just a maiden. Esther. When Vashti did whatever he did and went, the king needed a queen. And because of the presence of the king being a king, he married a maiden. And because a maiden was married to a king, she automatically becomes a queen. Right? So that's the honor a woman gets when they get married. That's why the cry for women to get married is louder than the cry of men to marry. A man can marry anytime they want. Mwanaume hata leo nani papichulo huyo watu hapa hivi amue tu I want to get married tomorrow. Imagine they'll get married. For men it's easy. For women it's not because we're not the ones who make that decision. We need somebody to make that decision. We need somebody to choose us. That's the one. We need somebody to choose us for marriage. So I'm here. I just need somebody to ask me, Chi, will you marry me? In as much as niko na wanaume kama 10,000 kwa akili, I'm like, this will make a good guy. This hakuna mwenye ameniongelesha all road.
Hakuna mwenye ameniambia will you marry me?
Somebody needs to ask me that question. I need to say yes, and then I'll start destroying his life and telling him, no babe unakula sana, no babe hujavaa sweater, no babe you know, we have all those things in our head, but somebody needs to choose us for that particular purpose. That's why our cries will be louder. That's why unaona for inakani kama ladies ndio wanataka kuolewa sana kuliko them capichulos.
Allow me to ask. So going back to that thing for the pressure is more on the men. Don't you now think the pressure is more on the women? Okay, honestly, from the beginning, I still feel and think, and I start to be corrected, but I feel like the pressure is more on the women.
This is why I'm saying the pressure is more on them.
On the men.
On the men. Sasa, you have this. Bring your cups. Demonstration time. So you have these cups. They're beautiful. I have to choose one cup. I have to go home with one cup. You all want this easy cups zote zinataka nizitumie. This is 4 cups asking for one. This is one wanting to choose one. It's harder to know who's the right one because they all look good. So ndasema staki hii iko na marks za black. Hizo lipsticks ni zako. Iko na mafuta. I don't do mafuta. So baki hizi mbili. Hii yangu iko nusu. This is too full. I need something less. That's where their pressure is. Pressure yetu ni we just want to be chosen. Pressure yao ni who
to choose.
You know that one person.
But don't you think the who is also important for the lady?
For the what do you mean?
Because okay, yes, still with the analogy of the cups. Yes, okay, yes, I want to get married. Yes, and it actually brings us to the whole story for what Nora asked in the beginning of the episode. Sorry. She asked, would you be willing to wait and marry right? Or would you marry? Would you be willing to wait?
Or early?
Would you be willing to marry late and marry right? Or marry young and marry wrong?
Exactly. So, I feel like the question of
tongue twister.
The question of who is also like, yes, it's the guy gets to choose.
Yeah.
But I feel like in this time and age,
everyone needs to choose.
I think just okay, sorry, just to finish the point. Cause okay, yes, like I'm this girl, yeah, and I'm waiting to be chosen by whoever is ready to marry. But I also want to choose those people who are ready to marry. As I don't know if you're understanding. Like I just don't want to
go by the one who just chooses you for the sake.
Like, are you getting? Like, okay, yes, you're ready to get.
Like, just use my example. Someone wants, I don't.
Yeah.
You get.
Yeah.
I think just to add on that, just to expound on the analogy of pressure, for ladies, it's more of internal pressure. Because society has brought us up to think of the white wedding, the older, all that. So men, their pressure comes from, for ladies now, the inward part. We grow up, and even after the voices stop asking you, the voices stop keeping pushing you, deep down, you still want that something from a man. Because we have been made to be helpers.
Yeah.
So we want that thing from men. And subconsciously, whether we address it or not, it's still there. But for men, it's mostly society. You see, as much as you want someone who is also ready for marriage, maybe you're approached by 5 guys at most. Let's say him, on the other hand, and a prospect, how many ladies? Let's say in church, there are like 50 ladies who are like a good prospect. And of course, love and emotions are things that will build up, but they're major things that you have to look at. And don't you think this men...
Before you continue, to just steal what you're saying, is we ladies look out. We look out who's coming. Like, you will ask me. I'm looking out for who is coming, right? Men look for who am I going for. You don't have that stress. You don't have that.
That's a harder task.
That you don't have that. Niende nani. Case in point, for example.
I think I now understand kind of like what Chiba is actually talking about.
If a gentleman was to walk in, and was told, we have 5 ladies here, or we are 4 ladies here. Choose. Like choose. That's his thinking. A lady's thinking is, I hope you choose me. I hope you choose me. You get the difference? It's not, our pressure is not, we don't have the pressure of selection. In as much as we have the liberty to say no. But we have the liberty to say no when they come. But we are choosing from what is already there. But yes, back to the cups. Nisha kuletea cups 4. Zisha kuwa selected uko nje. Nisha chagua nimekuletea. So out of these 4 chagua, right? For a man, akona hiyo gunia ya mchele yenye haijachaguliwa hata. Yeye sasa ndio anaanza kutoa chaffs. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yes, we have we have the the ability, you have the authority, you have the whatever of saying. Not every guy who goes down on one knee, you have to say yes to. Ladies, just because he bent or knelt does not mean you say yes. We can say no. There are men who will just kneel down and be like, no, I can't handle this. No.
Don't even do it.
We have that the need of saying no. But for a man, he has to choose you from an ocean. Like he has to pinpoint you. See, we get whatever has remained.
I get you. Also, I get.
And then also, ladies, I feel like we have a better advantage because we're very emotional and we pick up some things just at first glance.
Yeah.
It's a God-given meaning.
And men don't have that. Like they take longer to figure out some things that we pick up
immediately. Yeah.
That's why my favorite kind of man will always be that. Wale wanakwambianga, so I just knew I would marry you. Ukishisikiza ma story. No, asi tena kukatia nao. Ukishisikia story ya mtu ati
later on.
I saw her and I was like, I knew this was going to be my wife. Even when I was talking to her, I was like, but then agenda kwa, and we were laughing about it and I was like, never, me I cannot be married by someone like you. See who's seated next to me.
And most perfect marriage, not perfect, but marriages that work mostly go like that, yeah.
Because inakwanga ni nini ya mwanaume. It's a God given. It's like a wewe kazi yako nika hiyo story ya Esther, yeah? Mko hapo 50. Nyote mnaona huyo mwanaume. Right? Nyote mnaona.
But today it's not like that.
Imagine Daisy, I think for your pressure, everyone goes. I understand where Tiba is coming from, but I think everyone goes through the pressure because there's this thing we have, African. Is it African? No, it's not actually. It's biblical. Yes, that a woman builds her own home with her own hands, and a woman can also destroy her own home with her own hands. But sometimes I feel nowadays women have the pressure to actualize that word. Because unapatanga pressure mwanaume, yes, amekuchagua. Like, I kind of feel, I get where Daisy is coming from. I feel like even for me, women have more pressure. Because mwanaume, the only thing he has to do is choose, marry, then what next? Provide. For the woman, now she has to now constantly keep her home in check. And unapatanga, our African setting, when people divorce, the question is more on the woman.
What did she do?
What did she do? Ama unini compare? Ama kwani you didn't treat him right? Ama you didn't do this to him? And we both go through the same kind of pressure because the first pressure is from the man, the second pressure is from the woman. And that is why for me, I actually feel like in as much as we are helpers, ni kama ukijenga nyumba, hizo walls hazisimama bila nini?
Foundation.
The foundation, na zile chuma, you get, they both
intertwine. Yeah. just to add on my point.
Your
so
pressure
that
point.
Yeah, exactly.
Pressure.
Yeah, because okay, I don't think it's a matter of who has more pressure or who doesn't. But I feel like, you see, the support piece was talking about internal pressure and external pressure, and she talking about internal pressure for the woman. And I still feel like in today's time and age, there's a lot of external. Internal pressures, from family, from society, from if there's a guy here who's 32 and there's a woman who's 32, the questions of these two people will be the same.
Okay.
You're getting, and this guy is no really come and ask him, okay, how old are you? Okay, this one, for example, now they're together. Cindy, just as we've done it now, how old are you? So the guy would say 32, the lady would say 32, but what do you think, who will have the most questions about marriage?
The lady.
The guy, at least, okay, Sawa, do you have a home? Have you, where do you work? Have you established yourself work-wise? Have you established yourself home-wise and car-wise and etc.? And then a marriage would be the fourth question, But for the woman, the first question, it will be marriage. It will be about marriage. It will be about kids. And I'm not trying to prove a point of who has more pressure, but I still feel okay, I feel like both sides have pressure in their own right?
In their own way.
Yeah, but for me, I really, really feel for this woman, because this woman will be asked so many questions about marriage, and I feel like even if I don't know, like I understand the whole concept of the guy choosing and everything, but even more pressure to this woman because she has to wait to be chosen.
Yeah.
Like, in support of your point, she has to wait. Like the guy can just decide, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
So atafute like in 2 months done and we're done. But this woman, she can be ready for like 5 years.
And still waiting.
Yeah, and still waiting and until maybe now she decides to settle for any person who just comes along the way.
And also another pressure is that the difference when a man is 32 and wants to get married, he doesn't get really judged. For the woman, the question will be like, na mbona huolewi? Huyu ni kama ako na kasoro.
Yeah, even the guy's family.
Yes. Why is she 32? 32.
There's no issue with getting married even at 40. Like, there's no issue.
Yeah.
But that community, that society, that environment around you will put those questions, will ask those questions, will put that pressure. That's my opinion.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from. But I feel like at the same time, and I agree how Chiba said 98%, I feel like too. Because in the society, like women are really empowered. Even today. And most men are not. Like, ni juzi tu ndio wameanza kuempower men. And that is why men just wanachukua 2 months, go find someone, whoever they'll find, just for the sake. So what is the point of just finding someone for the sake? The reason why ladies are not comfortable, are waiting for that long is because they're not just saying yes to anyone. Most ladies have now been empowered to be able to wait for the right person. Hence, takes longer. As opposed to that man who just marries because time imepita, age inasonga, then they get someone. So isn't it better to remain single, like what you're saying, for that 32-year-old to keep remaining single than that 32-year-old man that will marry kesho kutwa and then the marriage is in tatters. So I still think the man, because even when you're talking about building the home, yes, it's the wife who builds her home. But remember, the wife is just the helper.
Exactly.
So if I'm coming into this man's house and he has nothing, there's nothing I'll help. Everything will come crumbling down. So if this marriage this marriage will only work if the man first establishes himself. Because he's the priest and the head of the home. So that brings us back to the point that maybe
the pressure of establishment.
Exactly. I feel like the pressure is most on men. And men have so normalized the pressure. Society has normalized the pressure to the point that we don't even think they feel it as much. We don't even think that they experience it even at all. We just think, they're good. See, they're the ones who are choosing. They'll just find someone and choose. We forget that it is better to remain single. Even Paul said it. It is better to remain single than to marry. But me, I'm saying than to marry wrong.
But generally, societal pressure is a real thing. It's a real thing, and it is clearly now, just as we've talked about it, it's affecting both male, female, both women and men, and women
And girls.
and women
And
girls and ladies. It's affecting everyone. The pressure of the society. But my point would be this: let's not ignore it. Sometimes it's good. Kuna watu wako single kiujinga. They need that pressure kutoka kwa ujinga. Kuna mtu atakwambia I don't want to get married until I achieve 300,000 per month dividends and sijui providence ama ni credit score ama sijui nini ama sijui nini. Ukimuuliza nini nakuzia kufika hapo, ama sijui mimi nataka tu hivyo. Mtu amefika 35, 36, 37, 40 anaona hii 300,000 nikai kuji.
Haitaifika.
Oh yeah bro, nilikuwa na jokes.
Sikuwa serious. Haikuwa hiyo serious, yeah.
I usually say, even for those who are dating right now, take my word for it. If, for example, you're in a relationship and you're not ready for marriage, you're wasting your time. If you're in a relationship and you're ready for marriage, try to understand why or how. Why or how. What you're waiting for is why. So you're dating now, yes. the purpose of any dating should be marriage, right? Right.
Yeah, dating for a purpose.
Yes, we're dating for marriage, right? So if you're dating for marriage, why are we not getting married tomorrow? Because we don't have 1, 2, 3, right? So what are we actively doing to attain 1, 2, 3? Not at you're not getting married because you don't have 1, 2, 3. Okay. Atulisema hatuna 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sasa 1, 2, 3 tutatoa wapi? No one is doing anything actively and intentionally to get to the 1, 2, 3. If you're not having that, beat it before societal pressure beats you. Because most of the time you get people, you date for 20 years and then more than a year. I have people I know of somebody who dated for 13 years and then one of the persons in the relationship got married to someone else. Now this other person who was left here for 13 years, I go like, after 13 years of a relationship, we invested. The girl just the girl asked him, "What were you doing in the 13 years?" Was preparing for marriage. How?
13 years.
Me at 13 months.
Me, I knew we will just get married. You were supposed to trust the process. Okay, which one?
13 who? What?
13 years.
13 years.
I was
trusting the process for 13 years.
Yes.
That's a whole decade.
Yes. I was supposed to trust the process. Yes. What was your
dating?
A teenager. Karibu afike 16.
13 years.
Trusting what?
So the girl was
the
asking,
process.
The girl was asking. I was starting. You were supposed to trust the process. You are not faithful enough. I was like, okay, fine. Huh? What was the process?
Exactly.
That we will get married. What were you doing towards us getting married?
Nata kama niko trust, honestly. See, you trust for like 5 years basi.
5 years basi. Yeah. I know if you really, if
there's a process.
If there's a real process.
For real, if there's a process.
Unless ka tulikutana high school.
Ni process imewekwa kwa table watu wakadiscuss like A, B, C, D.
So there are things you can both sit down and agree.
You need to any to your table. Me, I'm not agreeing.
Hey. Brother peace. There are times, and if you get such a man, be grateful. A man will sit you down and be like, I love you. I want you for a wife. Hakuna but. I love you. I want you for a wife. This is what I'm doing right now, and this, and this. Then we get married. Are you?
Yes.
It depends on what it is. There are things you.
Okay. It also depends on you, please. Because you see, kuna also sometimes you must set for yourself, yeah. You're like, okay, maybe don't want to get married past this and this age. But assuming you met this guy maybe when you, I don't know, maybe somebody in high school or something, and hata kama you've met this guy when you're right now 25 and your plan is to get married right now, it's because you as peace you want to get married maybe next year but and etc.
Amen.
But there's someone else who's like, I don't want to get married until I get a good stable career, until I get this and that and that. And if you guys like your plan aligns, those 5 years don't look maybe to someone else. So I think it's all about also.
Yeah. So as I was saying, if you sit down and agree, if somebody has tangible evidence, tangible process, you can sit it out. But mimi nakupenda, that should matter. Does not mean anything to you.
The fact that I love you.
The fact that I love you. No, by the way, now your dem alikuwa she was very graceful. Actually,
that's why
I waited. And
nani aliolewa dem ama chali?
Anytime stay single unikujie after you
13 years. Dem alimuuliza, I waited. And anytime would bring up the topic of marriage, the guy used to say, I love you. And I do not see myself marrying any other person in the world. And you know it.
You know it. But you're manipulative.
So as in, okay, so I know it, and then
the lady got married. The lady got married to a guy they met today. That's why actually alifanya nianza kupenda hiyo kitu ya I saw you, I knew I would marry you. So met a guy. The guy was like, hi, what's your name? All right, can I have your number? It was something business meaning. The guy kwa simu aliandika wife.
Wow, magnificent.
6 months. 6 months. will you marry me? The guy was yes.
That's what
that's your kind of thing. Yes.
Imagine they didn't date. Like they knew each other for 6 months.
So even the lady, trust you me, even the girl was like,
after 6 months, the guy did not ask, can you be my girlfriend? Like after 6 months of normal interactions, the guy got down on one knee to marry me. The lady was
that in the name of Jesus.
The lady was like, yes. Akaulizwa, ilikuwa si ati ni rafiki yangu but nini. Akaulizwa, so why did you say yes to the guy? But from the moment we met, I can tell you what this guy was doing, where he's heading, what he wanted, how he wanted it.
Wow.
Somebody like that to ask you for the hand in marriage, you say yes, Jana.
not even today.
Jana. you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
You know what to expect and where to go. At that time, they were married for 3 years. 3 years of marriage, never made any better decision in her life.
Wow.
She says.
Tunaweza mleta hapa one day.
Talk.
No, please. Yeah. What you did. God.
Do it unto me.
Kama hiyo. God. Kama hiyo sasa.
But my point was, it's especially on the men. Mimi ladies wacha leo ni wa leo wacha
God, I knew you were my wife.
But if a man knows what he wants,
he goes for it. And he goes
for it. Empowerment ama nini? Ukuwe empowered atakaye ni president wa Tanzania. Sie ni second wife. But we do not support polygamy. But sie ni second wife. And it is said that akifika home, ofisi ya urais ameiacha huko. Kwa nini? So it doesn't matter whether ni empowered ama nini ama what. If a man has decided, if a man has set his head straight to attaining something, bro, he has no reason of not attaining it. And he will attain it. So even when it comes to marriage, if your boyfriends, your man friends, such white, your boyfriends, okay, papuchilo friend. Papichulo friend. Papichulo. If your Papi Julian has decided, oh my God, this will be a girl's cappuccino thing. If your Papi Julian has decided that he wants to marry, he will marry you. You will have very few things to say to that.
Hey, 13 months.
Years.
Years.
Years. Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
Years.
Sadly for men, acha niwaambie, utaweka mtu 13 years, atachukuliwa. Ukiwatch.
But then that thing is relatable. I also saw a TikTok, a girl who said she left a 7-year relationship.
Yeah.
Entered into a relationship within 4 months.
Oh.
4 months. She was engaged.
Anyway. As you can see, girls cappuccino, today we are advocating for marriages on our own behalves. And
godly marriages, right marriages.
Kai, next time tukiongelea marriages, tunakuja kuongelea watu naitanga
Sema.
Watu nitoaita, lakini this does not mean the person you know, but the Indaboski men. The Indaboski men. Reba kaya, the Lord has said, Chobaya, you are my wife, she baba.
Niko na story time hiyo for next time.
We're coming for you, Christian men. We are coming for you hot, sizzling hot. The Christian Papachilians. Christian Papachilians. We are coming through.
For you.
We're coming for you. That has been our time. My name is Chibalonza.
Nora.
Daisy.
Peace. Elsie.
Yeah. And until next time, keep it hot. Keep your cups sizzling for the girls.
Cappuccino. Ciao.